It's not regarded as one of those in a category of a dangerous sport at all. There is a line that the most dangerous part about gliding is actually getting to the gliding club and then back again afterwards. But in fact, obviously there are hazards and things like that which we have to be aware of, but we all practice very good airmanship here, and most people come down with a huge smile on their faces.
This is a K21. It's made by a company called Schleicher. It's a German manufacturer. Most of the gliders in the UK are German built, and Schleicher is a particularly good make. You'll be sitting in the front today, and I'll be sitting in the back, and I've got the same controls. So the stick, if you move it forward, the nose goes down. You move it back, the nose comes up. Move it to the right wing goes down. Move it to the left wing goes down. And quite an interesting instrument panel here with a number of instruments, some of which are repeated. So some of them are manual and some of them are battery operated. So this is the radio here, which we don't really use that much unless we need to talk to ground control. But the main instruments that we're looking at are the altimeter. You see here this is set at 0, so it's set at the elevation of this site. We're at about 550 feet above sea level. Second instrument is the airspeed indicator, which tells you how quickly you're moving through the air, and it's calibrated in knots, so it's not statute miles per hour, it's nautical. A knot is a nautical mile per hour, which is about 1.15 statute miles per hour. In some ways, this one here with winter written in the middle of it, it's called a variometer. In some ways it's the most important instrument that glider pilots use, because it tells us how quickly we're ascending or descending. And obviously in the summer we're looking for rising air created by the sun heating the ground, which we call thermals. And the glider is constantly descending through the air, so the trick of flying long distances is to find air that is rising faster than the glider is descending. So if when we're flying it's on 0, that means we're neither going up nor down. If it's above 0, so if it's 2, that's 2 knots, that means we're going up at 2 knots, which is roughly 200 feet a minute. So if it's -4, that means we're descending at 400 feet a minute, roughly 4 knots.
Gliding club's been here since mid-30s. In fact, it's one of the first gliding clubs in the country. It moved here after a few expeditions out at Ivanhoe Beacon, a farm up the road in Tottenham. But settled here after about 6 months and established themselves. They used to launch in those days off the hill there by a bungee launch. But nowadays it's a much more civilised, practical way of getting in the air. I should tell you that the sort of heart and soul of gliding really is flying cross-country, travelling hundreds of miles out to Wales and back in a day, flying in the Black Mountains out there, or up to Yorkshire, even up to Scotland and back we've done in a day, somebody has once. It's about flying cross-country using the natural forces of nature to get you from A to B and back to A again.
Plenty of shots of Dunstable itself.
And that's Luton as well, which is great.
And Luton's just beyond, it sort of spreads into Luton beyond, yeah?
I flew with somebody quite recently who turned up here. She bought it as a gift, and her first words, it was last Sunday, her first words were to me, "I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it, I won't do it." And it very quickly, when she saw what we were doing, she saw other gliders go off, she said, "Oh, well, I'll have a go." And I promise you, within 2 or 3 minutes in the air, she was absolutely loving it, and she really wanted to go back up again, but she didn't have time. And that is the general reaction of people who come and fly. I do it for 2 reasons really. One, because I get huge satisfaction, but I got huge feeling of achievement and reward for the effort I was putting into it. It's not like other sports. I mean, obviously I'm a bit biased, but I would say it's not like a lot of sports where you can get a hole in one occasionally or something like that. This, you really do get tremendous satisfaction when you achieve your first solo flight, your first cross-country flight, when you become an instructor and you take somebody out for the first time. These sort of stepping stones are life-changing in a way. I have great flying with other people. I'm not a great cross-country flyer myself, but I've flown over Mont Blanc at 17,000 feet with a far superior glider pilot than I. I was sitting in the back, just revelling in that moment of being able to do that. And then round the Matterhorn, flying around there, flying in the Alps is a fantastic experience in a glider.